Hello students and welcome to your English class, and today we are going to continue with the rest of the lesson which we started, The Portrait of a Lady by Khushwant Singh. As in the previous session we discussed about how they had a good friendship between each other and when they were in village. As soon as they shifted to city, that relationship was little affected, and that the author calls it the turning point of their life. It's because the author started going to a village, to a city school, whereas grandmother used to be at home. There were no dogs in the cities, so grandmother used to feed sparrows in her house in the city. Then it talks about when he started going to English school, the grandmother's thought of education to English school was totally different. She was a spiritual kind of woman, so she believed that there is no teaching of God and scriptures in the English schools. Whereas she got very disturbed when she got to know the author has started learning about music, which she calls it that it is a profession of those who are harlots or beggars. So she calls it a lewd association. So let's start from today's paragraph, and we'll try to cover maximum as more as possible. When I went up to university, I was given a room of my own. The common link of friendship was snapped. My grandmother accepted her seclusion with resignation. So when I went up to university, it means when author started going to university, so he was given a separate room. Now he does not live with grandmother and shares the same room. He is given his own room. The common link of friendship was snapped. Since the both have their personal rooms, now they do not have that friendship, and it was snapped. My grandmother accepted her seclusion with resignation. So this phrase, this expression is given, accepted her seclusion. Seclusion means isolation or loneliness, with resignation means she accepted with her own the loneliness, getting separated from the author. She rarely left her spinning wheel to talk to anyone. Now she used to sit on spinning wheel and do that, and for sunrise to sunset sat by her wheel spinning and reciting prayers. So she spends most of her time in spinning the wheel and reciting the inaudible prayers. Only in the afternoon she relaxed for a while to feed the sparrows. So she used to feed sparrows in the afternoon, as mentioned, while she sat on the veranda breaking the bread into bits, and hundreds of little birds collected around her, creating a veritable bedlam of chirping. A veritable means real or a true. Bedlam means confusing noise of chirpings. The noise of the sparrows are called chirping. The sound is given as chirping to the sparrows. So there was a real confusing noise of chirping of birds, those who come to grandmother who she feeds. Some came and perched on her legs. So some of the birds used to come and used to sat on her legs, others on her shoulders. Some even sat on her head, and some used to sit on her head, and she smiled but never shooed them away. It means she never try to let them away from her, but she loves these birds to be sitting on her head, shoulder, on legs, etc. So she likes to like these birds. It used to be the happiest half an hour of the day for her. So it was the happiest time for the author. So the author calls it the happier hour of the day. When I decided to go abroad for further studies, I was sure my grandmother would be upset. So when he decided, I here is for author, so when author decides that he would go abroad for his further studies, so he thought that grandmother would be very upset to know that he is going abroad now for studies. But I would be away for 5 years, and at her age one could never tell. So the author means is like, if he is going abroad, he doesn't know if some mishap happens and she dies, nobody can say, because grandmother was quite old at that time. My grandmother's could. She was not even sentimental. It means she was not so emotional. So she came to leave me at the. She came to leave me at the. She came to leave me at the airport or railway station, but did not talk or show any emotion. So grandmother did not show any of her emotions, and she bid him goodbye. Her lips moved in prayer. Even when she was there to drop him. So there was little disturbance. When I decided to go abroad for further studies, I was sure grandmother would be upset, but she wasn't. She was not sentimental. So she came to leave him. She came to leave author at the railway station. She did not talk to the author and did not even show any kind of emotions. Her lips were moving in prayers, and her mind was lost in prayers itself. So her fingers were busy in telling the beads of her rosary, as it was her daily routine to beads the rosary. So she was still doing the same, and silently she kissed my forehead, and I cherished the moist imprint as perhaps the last sign of physical contact between us. So when the author had was going abroad, so she left him. So when I left, I cherished, he enjoyed, he recalled, or he kept in mind those emotional moments, and moist imprint means some of the memories, as perhaps was the last sign of their physical contact between grandson and grandmother. But there was not so. After 5 years, I came back home and was met by her at the station. As soon as the time passed on and author completed studies and returned back to his home, he found his grandmother, who is there at reception at the railway station to receive him. And she did not look a day older. Even then she was as it is. There wasn't any big change in grandmother. She still had no time for words. Even then she could not talk to him. But while she clasped me in her arms, so she held him. Clasp him means to hold with one of the hands, and I could hear the reciting her prayers. So he could listen the inaudible prayers and the murmured sound of the prayers from the grandmother. Even on the first day of arrival, her happiest moment were with her sparrows, whom she fed longer, and with frivolous rebukes, who she used to feed. It was the daily and the happiest moment. She used to feed the sparrows with frivolous rebukes. Frivolous rebukes means like to affectionate scolding. It is not serious. Frivolous means affectionate. Rebukes means scolds. So she used to give him affectionate scolding, which was not serious, just with the just as to give the scolding. So it was that her routine, that she used to feed the sparrows. In the evening a change came over her. She did not pray. She collected the women of the neighborhood and got an old drum and started to sing. So one big change which was observed by the author was that she did not pray that day, and she collected the women of her neighborhood and got the old drum and she started to sing. For several hours she thumped the saging. She thumped means she beat the saging. Saging means loose or hanging skin of a dilapidated drum. Skin of dilapidated means worn out. So she beat the loose skin of worn out drum and sang the homecoming of warriors. Like she sang the songs of home warriors when they used to conquer, when they used to come back to their native place. So people used to sing the songs of their bravery. So in the same manner, grandmother is also singing the song of homecoming warriors. We had to persuade her to stop avoid overstaining. So we tell her that she was quite old, so she was being made to stop all these because it was overstaining her. It was something overstained. That was first time since I had known her that she did not pray. So it was the day which the author has observed when she did not pray and she sang the songs. The next morning she was taken ill. It means she became ill because of the exertion. It was mild fever and doctor told us that it would go, and doctor did not tell, the doctor suggested that it would go and it was just a fever. But my grandmother thought was differently. So she thought something different because she believes that it is her end time. She told us that her end was near. She said that since only few hours before the close of last chapter of her life had omitted to pray, and she was not going to waste any more time talking to us. So she had understood, because she was a spiritual woman, so she had some different opinion than that of doctor, and she thought that her end was near. So she wanted to talk to all the family members, and she did not pray since then. We protested, but she ignored our protest. She lay peacefully in bed praying and letting her beats. But we protested, then she lay down on the bed and she started telling the beads. Even before we could suspect, her lips stopped moving. But it was a short time for them, for the entire family, that we could suspect. They understood when they find her lips stopped moving suddenly and the rosary fell from her lifeless fingers. A peaceful pallor spread on her face, and we knew that she was dead, and they got to know that author's grandmother was no more. We lifted her off to the bed as is customary. As we know in Indian tradition that when somebody dies, he is lifted and laid down on the ground and covered with a red shroud. After a few hours of mourning, we left her alone to make arrangements for her funeral. In the evening, we went to her room with a crude stretcher to take her to cremated. So as it is customary, they made some arrangements. After a few hours of mourning means after a few hours of weeping and sadness, spreading sadness, we left her alone to make arrangements for funeral. In evening, we went to her room with a crude stretcher, means a stretcher made up of bamboos, which is temporary. It is made as customary in Indian tradition to take them for cremated. The sun was setting. It was a time of sunset. So we lit the room and veranda with blaze of golden light. So there was sunlight which penetrates in the veranda with a golden light. So we stopped halfway in courtyard, all over the veranda, and in her room, right up there where she lay dead and stiff, wrapped in red shroud. Thousands of sparrows sat scattered on the floor. So what happened when they were likely to take her in the veranda? They observed that there were thousands of sparrows who were fed by grandmother. They came over near her shroud, near her dead body, and they were all sitting in the veranda, and they covered the entire veranda over there. There was no chirping. They were not making any kind of sounds. They were all silent. We felt sorry for the birds, and my mother fetched some bread for them. So what happened? They felt very sorry for these birds, that the woman who they had come to meet is no more. And my mother, means author's mother, went and she brought some bread crumbs for the birds. She broke it into little crumbs, the way the grandmother used to, and threw it to them. The sparrows took no notice of bread. So it means they did not come that day to have breads, but they had come to attend the mourning ceremony of death of grandmother. When we carried my grandmother's corpse off, when the dead body of grandmother was taken, they flew away. So those birds went away, and next morning the sweeper came and he swept up the breadcrumbs into the dustbin. So this is how the lesson ends. I think you have understood it. So it is basically based on the relationship of how young generation is getting separated from their grandparents due to education, due to they have to go for jobs or some of the other things. So it is a kind of emotional and sentimental and autobiography by Khushwant Singh, where he is sharing his life experience and wants to give message to all the youngs. Okay, I think this much is enough. We'll see you tomorrow and we'll discuss some question answers. We'll share some of the word meanings, and we'll discuss some more extracts of this lesson. Till then, take care of yourself. Thank you and have a nice day.